So, just a really disappointing and difficult day for our football team and certainly our fans too. They were great. Appreciate them being there. Every week and basically just program-wise, our goal is to try to improve and come out victorious in the football game. So, certainly didn't do that. And, now we've got a week here to figure out some answers and see what we can do to improve. And that's what the next couple of weeks will be for. Purdue played a great football game. Credit to them. Basically they outdid us in every category. And certainly, David Bell is outstanding. We knew that coming in. He's a tremendous football player, and a lot of respect for him. He and number 5 both played really, I think, impacted the game an awful lot. And, we knew it was going to be a tough contest. So, bottom line is we didn't get it done. They moved the ball well in their last time out against Minnesota. It looked very similar to that. Had a hard time getting off the field, and then we couldn't keep pace offensively either. So, credit to our opponents. They did a great job. And, for our football team, it's the first time we've had to deal with a loss in a while. So we'll get a lesson in that. The biggest thing is right now how we choose to move forward. And that's what I shared with the team a few minutes ago. So, we got some time to stew on it and sit on it. And there's nothing you can do about that. But we got to move on and see what we can do about moving forward and taking on the second half of this schedule, 5-game schedule. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'll throw it out for questions.
What's different about David Bell compared to the previous really high-caliber receivers you've come up against?
Yeah, I don't know if I can articulate it other than, seems like we've seen somebody really good week in and week out, and that's the case. And got a lot of respect for their receiver core, their whole core. Zero's a really dangerous player. 33 is a good player. And then they throw it well. I mean, they throw it well. You pressure them, they get the ball out pretty quickly. So, but he's just a very unique player and very productive. I don't know if we've ever – I'm sure I've been around guys that got 200-plus yards receiving, but I can't remember it. You guys probably could cite it for me.
You've always said that first 7 games, last 5 games, bye week in the middle. When you look back on the previous 7 games, how would you best evaluate how the team has improved, or maybe where you need to improve bye week into the last 5 games?
Yeah, so I just got done telling them I think we've done a lot of really positive things since January, actually. So, and then take that first 7 games for what it is. Been great to be sitting here 7-0, but that's not the reality, and shouldn't be. We didn't. We got outplayed today. So I think we've done a lot of good things. We do better when we play as a team and can create some energy, and we really never got that going today. Outside of our return game, I think, and the kicking game was good. Outside of that, it's really hard to single anything out that looked really good. So, but we've got some strengths on this football team, and we're 7 games into it, so we're young. I think we're older now, and we paid for a little bit of that today. But hopefully we'll continue to grow, and then just put our sights on the next 5.
If you look at history, the last time you had a really big win against a top 5 team, came back the next week and was a really bad performance. I mean, I'm not saying it was exactly the same.
Help me out. Who was it?
What's that?
Help me out. I'm supposed
2017 Ohio State, then at Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah.
How hard is it, I guess, just to back up an emotional win with another in the college game in your eyes?
It is hard. That's why teams don't go undefeated too often. And that's everybody. I mean, Alabama went down. I'm not comparing us to Alabama by any stretch, but that's a tough thing, especially about conference football play. I think that factors in as well. So, we did it, and we went 12 straight in 15, and then whatever it was, 21, 22. So, it's tough to do. But you still want to do it. It doesn't ease the pain at all. It doesn't make you feel any better. But one thing about losing, and boy, I'm sitting here, I was actually thinking at the end of the game out there about like going over to Illinois, whatever year that would have been 82 or 83. I think it was 33-0. With a good football team, those things happen, and boy, I'll tell you, they never taste good. They never feel good. But you just got to get back on your feet and go back to work.
You have a huge target on your back at number 2 in the country. I mean, a huge win last week over Penn State. Everybody's gunning for you.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I'm sure. We haven't been up there that often, but that's part of it. And but the other part is again just conference play. Everybody wants to beat each other, and that's what makes it tough to compete in the conference. But it's also a good thing. It's how conference play should be, and it's all about rising to that challenge, and we've done a pretty good job 6 weeks, but now we'll have to regroup.
When it comes to the running game, there hasn't been a lot of consistency this year. There's been a few big plays here and there, but as far as getting the push that you want and you need, you haven't quite gotten it. And today was kind of the same way. What's kind of stalling right now? Is it a combination of things? Is it just?
I'm not sure I see that totally. If you go back and look, at least in my mind, last week, and I haven't seen the film from today, but we had some pretty clean runs on them. I mean, some 6, 8, 10-yard plays. So I really feel like we hit some good clean runs the last 2 weeks and maybe showed some improvement. I'll see the tape from this game. But if you look at the bottom line, sneaks, short yard situations, those kinds of things skew. But I think we're growing there. But we obviously weren't cohesive enough offensively, and we couldn't keep pace, and especially in the second half. Just when you watch the clock wind it down a little bit, puts a little pressure on the fourth quarter. You can kind of throw that one out, statistically at least. But I think we're making some strides in the running game, which I'm actually kind of encouraged about. So we'll see.
Obviously a setback today, but how do you evaluate Spencer through the first 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job. For 2 seasons, really. I think he's done a lot of good things. Today, it was a tough day for all of us, and, our protection wasn't great. Made a tough run on him. Kind of like the, whatever interception number we ended up with. I'm not, you can't discount him. I'm not suggesting that. But especially the last couple, it's, situational, part of that situational. So it'll still show up in the stat column at the end of the year, I get it. But we see a lot of good things with him, and we just got to protect him a little bit better and just keep working here.
What's the nature of Hankins' injury and the process of getting him back out there?
He came back in, so, they checked him and, whatever, I think he fell on it, basically was what it looked like to me. But he came back in, so expect him to be okay, but we'll know more when he wakes up tomorrow, see how sore he is.
What's the status on Lachey and Ince?
Yeah, so Cody we thought would be able to make it and, couldn't answer the bell. And as the week went on, just kind of leveled off there. Lachey, somebody fell on him Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, or Wednesday, then, whenever it was. But I thought he might have a chance, so hopefully we'll get him back after the break here. And Deontay Craig, somebody fell on him, I know that was Wednesday. So we lost a couple guys this week during the week.
Spencer said that last year's Purdue game kind of bothered him heading into the week. He wanted to come out and prove himself. Obviously, comes out, you guys walk away with the loss. But what do you kind of say to him? Because this is the first game he's lost in his last 12. I mean, how do you make sure that this loss doesn't linger and keep going forward?
It's that way for our whole football team. There's a tough locker room in there. And it should be. Everybody's invested. And again, it goes back to January. Not that everybody in there was here then. So, it's how it's supposed to feel when you go down. It's not fun, and there's no way to really make it go away. And I'm more experienced at this than anybody in that locker room. I haven't found a way yet to make it feel better, other than time. Time, and usually going back to work helps you a little bit too. And one bad thing about the bye, we can't just flip our sights to the next opponent here on Wednesday or Monday morning. So, we'll have to deal with that. But there's a lot of good things in front of us right now. We got a 5-game schedule, and we'll regroup. We need rest right now, certainly as to those injuries. Get some guys recharged and, come out a week from now, hopefully ready to roll.
What was the thought process taking the knee in the last play of the first half? Is that your call?
Yeah, it was mine. I mean, what was it, 9 seconds or no, not even 3. I mean, I don't know, what are you going to do? I mean, get somebody hurt. So, I mean, we did go for it the play before that, right? I think we tried to get the ball downfield, and so that was not the game turner, that's for sure. I don't think you can throw one that far. I don't know, it'd be tough.
What do you have to do with this offense between now and Wisconsin to avoid another offensive showing like this?
I'd say it's a team loss, Mike. I mean, I didn't see much out there other than our return game that looked real good. So, and just like when we're winning, one thing feeds off the other, and things complement each other. And we couldn't get off the field today. Credit to Purdue. I mean, they had a good attack. That one receiver, like I said, he had as good a day as I can remember us facing. And I'm not sure I remember anybody rotating quarterbacks quite like they did. The number 12 is not, it's just something they mix in, but rotating both guys, and they both played really well. Credit to them.
Going to get off the field on third down, was there something Purdue was doing that made it difficult for the defense to get off the field, or what was going on there?
No, I mean, we couldn't really get pressure on the quarterback, start there. And then when we did bring pressure, he did a pretty good job for the most part getting the ball out and finding somebody who's open, for enough to convert the first downs. So no matter what direction we leaned, they seemed to have an answer, and that's good football on their part.
You talked about the bye week. I mean, how do you get your guys to not fester in the loss, but to, utilize that loss as motivation going forward?
Yeah, this is a game for mentally tough people, and if you're not mentally tough, you're gonna dwell on it and let it fester. The other thing that happens anytime you don't have success, it's everybody's got an opinion about it. So, if you're not careful, you start second guessing yourself and doubting, this or that and whatever. And the whole trick is to get your eyes back on what you're trying to do and work to improve and not worry about, what went wrong. And there was plenty of that today, in large part to our opponent's credit. But, like I said, we've done a lot of good things in 6 weeks prior to this game, and what we need to do is make sure we get back to playing the way we want to play and how we need to play. And, and there's no easy games in front, too. That's something, make sure our players understand. I think they do. Conference football is tough. It's just, if it turns out not to be, then, it's a nice surprise, but that's just the way it is.
Purdue always seems to have a good strategy for your defense, maybe different than most teams that you go against. Why are they so effective and have been and shown it the last 4 to 5 years and more?
Yeah, it's, as I said Tuesday, it's Coach Brom's expertise, and that's his background. He's a really, he's done a really nice job offensively everywhere he's been. And, I just said we couldn't get off the field today, basically. I mean, they drove it, and then they got the points they needed to get. And, it's not the first time they've done that, but we just didn't have answers. And it's a credit to them. They blocked well and threw and catch and ran it efficiently enough to be successful.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.